Hello everyone and welcome to the Brothers Take podcast and to the last episode of 2024. My name is Chris. I'm joined once again by my brothers Eric.
Hello.
And Adam.
Hello.
Hey. And we are physically back in the room to wrap up 2024 and talk about all of our favorite things from this year, our favorite games, our favorite movies, favorite TV shows, and favorite music releases. We've done this the last couple of years, but this year we're doing it with a bit of a twist. We've got another guest joining us on the podcast, and that is ChatGPT, who is going to roast us based on our favorite things this year at the end of the episode. And of course, we would love for you guys to join in on roasting us too. If you're watching this YouTube, make sure you jump down into the comments at any point to share your thoughts, either your own personal highlights from 2024 as we bring it to a close, or just to share your thoughts on what you think of the things that we bring up. And if you enjoyed this episode, please do give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all future content going into 2025. To those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can also touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take, again to give your take on our highlights of 2024. I'm looking forward to this twist with the ChatGPT to see what way it roasts us based on our interests. But without further ado, we shall delay no more. Let us bring an end to 2024.
Like a Dr. Seuss.
I know. Do you know I've already started thinking like, what the fuck is the 2025 going to be? It started in 2022, I think. It just happened as a happy accident that it rhymed. Yeah. Without further ado, let's kick off 2022. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, that actually was kind of fun. So then in 2023, I did it again, and I can't remember what it was. And in 2024, I did it. So now I'm like, I feel like now I kind of have to do it just at the start and at the end. But I don't know what 2025 is going to be yet. I have yet to think of a rhyme that isn't totally like, you are really going out of your way. You know what I mean?
We are here live in 2025.
Hey! It might be that one.
And we're not live though, we're recording. So
before we jump into the topic, I actually just want to do a quick shout out to our friends over at Last Call Gaming, who are a much bigger podcast than us. But they're very, very good to us. They listen to us. They check us out. They get in touch. Craig has been on the podcast before to do spoiler casts for Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy 16. But I want to say a massive congratulations to Mandrew, who is going to be a father. Which I think is fantastic news. So congrats. And if anyone who listens to both, go over and obviously send your congratulations and stuff. But let's jump into, since we are primarily... but not only. And I think going forward, we probably will be more mixed, actually. But we've been primarily a gaming podcast. Let's start with our favorite games of 2024, whatever medium that takes.
Games with a Z.
Games with a Z. Eric, why don't we start with you? Favorite games of 2024.
Right, okay, so... honorable mentions, I suppose, would be like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Space Marine 2. I've enjoyed playing... Was it earlier this year we played the Alien RPG?
Was that this year?
I think it was.
I think it was actually.
Yeah,
earlier this year. Yeah, but that was good fun. So that's an honorable mention there. That was really good crack. I started playing Coriolis, is another tabletop RPG made by the same people, the Alien. That's really fun. But my favorite video game is Stellar Blade.
Wow.
That's a great game.
Yeah. So tell us why. Why is Stellar Blade your favorite game of 2024?
Well, I remember the demo, they just announced that there was a demo, and I was like, sure, I love demos. So I'll download it, I'll give it a go, and I was just absolutely blown away by the demo.
Okay.
It was just, the music was so good, the combat was good, the graphics were good, and I was like, I just gotta pre-order this. And I pre-ordered it, and then it was a game that just kept on giving. You know, it just kept on, like, there was...
And removing.
Yeah, why is it your favorite?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to see what ChatGPT has to say about you at the end of all this. But do you feel like it got snubbed at the Game Awards?
No. I actually think it got nominated more than I expected.
Well, that's fair.
Like, I knew it wasn't going to win or be nominated for Best Performance, because if you go into it expecting, you know, Oscar or like award-winning performances, no, you're not going into that game for that. And yes, it is a bit memeable. It is a bit like why it's famous is not really the best thing about it.
Yeah.
It is the graphics. It is the exploration. So I think it should have been. If you're nominated for Best Action, I think you should have also nominated for Best Action Adventure.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the open area and there's lots of little side areas you can climb up. Like the climbing in it is good mechanic. It doesn't really have the yellow everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
They actually decide to use other colors.
Wait, so action and action adventure are two different categories? Are they?
Yeah, that comes up every single year. Yeah.
What's in action?
Action tends to be games more like, okay, so if you were to pick like this is the prime example of what we mean by an action game, like Devil May Cry, where it's like
so
it's literally just action. There's not much of the adventure aspect to it.
Like Metal Slug or Broforce could also be like, that's action.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of adventure involved.
Yeah, or like some of the
or Gears of War is supposed to be best action as well.
That makes sense. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
And
then action adventure, is like
But see, in this, while there are areas that are very linear and there's lots of combat, there is also big open areas where there's side missions and there's you get to explore the area and lots of little secret hidden things throughout the game. I think a lot of the side characters you meet in it are very interesting. Like some of the guys look like genuine ogres, but are most human people you could meet. So it was a game that just really, really surprised me. The combat was really fun. The music was awesome. Sometimes the music was like something straight out of a rock fucking album or something like that. Like, do you remember Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember? You know that kind of.
Well, the game actually
has that kind of energy,
that vibe.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah. No. So
it does,
that was it was a fun game. It was a great game. It was so good to replay, and then just as the company, they kept releasing these updates that just gave you more.
Yeah, they give you a lot more.
So much more. The physics of the game are
ridiculous. Isn't it? They're doing a sequel, right? Like they've already announced that
about a month after the game was released, they announced about the DLC, which was Nier Automata, and then about a sequel as well.
I think it is like I played the demo and I do think it is interesting. Like it's a pretty new developer, and it's a new IP and stuff, and like it's nice to get a new IP actually that isn't just another follow up to something else or a reboot of something else, and even though it has obviously influences in it and you can kind of see some of the influences, it is also very much doing its own kind of thing. And it's not it's Souls light as opposed to Souls like, I would say. Like,
Souls light
elements of the Souls stuff, but it's not as grueling or as and there's difficulties.
Yeah, you do have difficulty settings.
So if you're more into it for like the story and the world, you can actually get through.
I will admit the story for me was quite predictable. That didn't necessarily make the story bad, but it kind of felt like I was playing a Final Fantasy as well at times.
Yeah.
The story and the kind of mysticism to the world, even though it's set in the future of Earth. But I just really liked the game. I thought it was quite a nice surprise. And just kind of felt like we're going back to form of playing a game that was a game.
Well, there's Eric's recommendation for 2024. If you haven't played Stellar Blade, go play it. It's only on PS5, is it?
At the moment, it will become the PC next year, where I wonder what the modders will do with it.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
I don't know if there's much they can do with it. They could just give her more clothes.
Yeah, that's probably what they do.
They probably will
do that. Dress her more.
Yeah. You'll definitely get a Thomas the Tank Engine mod because
there's always
what the fuck is that? What do you mean?
There's always a Thomas the Tank Engine mod.
There's always a Thomas the Tank Engine.
Where they turned the character into Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, with
I've seen that in Skyrim, all right.
They made the dragons Thomas the Tank.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and in Resident Evil 2, Mr. X was Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
that's terrifying. Okay, so Adam, have you a favorite game of 2024?
Yeah, and so I found it difficult to really connect with a lot of. That was more to do with my own, life, what's happening. So, I actually just came across a game that I absolutely connected with yesterday.
What?
And it's
Anything could happen on this podcast.
it came out like, because I think the game I put the most hours into would have been Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Sure.
And then just dabble into a few games throughout the year. But there's a game that came out, I think, only last week. It's a Netflix game. So it's on mobile.
Is this Squid Game?
It's called Monument Valley 3.
Monument Valley 3. I don't even know what Monument Valley 2 and 1 are.
So Monument Valley 1 and 2. 1 came out in, I'm going to say 2015. I could be wrong on that. But it's somewhere around then. And then 2018, I think, was Monument Valley 2.
Yeah.
These were iPhone exclusive games. And then Netflix, I think, or they moved to Netflix games. It was due to exposure. They weren't getting enough exposure being on the platform. So Netflix then also bought 1 and 2 then and made it available on Android for the first time. So this is kind of, it's a very short game. I completed it in like a sitting. But it's not...
Which is nice though.
It's not
as
finished
well.
though.
All right,
It's
okay.
like you get part 1 and then next... I think they're doing it in seasons. So
Right.
in next spring they'll drop another few levels, and in the summer, and then...
Oh, nice.
But so it's about maybe 2 hours, maybe less.
Okay.
But to describe what it's like, it's a little bit like, although not as sad as Journey. It's a little bit like Journey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice, okay.
So Journey meets an MC Escher painting.
Okay.
Huh?
So you have
Is that the guy going up the stairs, going down the stairs, and going up sideways stairs?
So you have this character. So it's a little kind of platformer. What really sells it is the music, right? It tells you straight in. It's like, put headphones in, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's the aspect of it that I would say is kind of similar to Journey, where the visual and the music is going to be telling you a lot about what's happening.
Yeah.
And the art style is a little similar to Journey, a little bit like that abstract look.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what you're trying to do is get a character from one side of the map to the next side of the map, but it's using those MC Escher style optical illusions where you have to rotate it so that one path will match the other.
Oh, cool.
And it could end up going upside down, or like it's really, really fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
What they do there, but it's quite therapeutic. So it feels like, do you know those games used to get little, you used to get them like a lucky dip bag where you have to push the square to make a picture
To solve the puzzle, yeah.
Yeah. You get that a little bit with like Candy Crush as well. That kind of,
Yeah.
it's that type of game in terms of puzzle, where you're pretty much trying to move pieces to get this character from A to B. But it has this, like Journey, there's like a kind of a deeper meaning to it.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a huge surprise. I hadn't even heard of it. And yeah, okay. Monument Valley 3. Has anyone been playing it? What do you think of it? And yeah, I must try it out myself.
So as long as you have a Netflix account, all you have to do is just, you download it and you just
Do
sign
you play
in.
with the remote?
No, you play it on your phone.
You play on your phone? Oh, on the
so
phone.
it's on,
Okay.
yeah, you get it off the App Store or the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
And then it'll ask you to sign in with your Netflix account.
Okay.
And that's it. Then you have access to the game.
Because I remember when Netflix were going to go into the gaming space, it was really confusing at the start, wasn't it? It was really like, how the fuck is that going to work?
How do you play
here?
it?
Yeah. So it's really, they do mobile gaming more than anything else, don't they? And
Yeah,
just
I
connected
think,
through.
like, the GTA games are there. I think I can't really remember.
I think like San Andreas
Yeah, I think
is
San Andreas
on Netflix.
Yeah,
It's such
but I think it's
so
like a
fucking
similar
weird.
thing. I think it's like you can. It's like it'll show you, because Monument Valley 1 and 2 are still on the App Store.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they're still on it.
Are they similar
I
games too, or is this like
Yeah.
a big jump?
No, it's very similar.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
one, I'd say it's more of like an interesting art kind of game.
Yeah.
2 is when they introduce kind of like a little companion, and you're trying to make the two move together.
Oh, okay.
The third one I'm getting from it, I don't really know because I basically just cleared it yesterday, but I think, and there's more to come with it, but I think it's actually about environmental.
Oh,
Nice,
okay.
nice.
So this would be one of those like this could be up for like games for impact type thing and
Yeah.
those kinds of games.
Yeah. But it's not it's not straightforward. It is still quite abstract.
Yeah.
But it was quite nice because there was a little. I can't remember what. I think it could have been in Miami Valley 2. Maybe it was 1. I can't remember. But there was this totem pole style character that you like move around the map, and he made an appearance in this one. It was something that you used as a kind of a companion to help you get through various different levels in 1 and 2. I can't remember which one it was.
Right.
But here he makes an appearance, and then he just forms into this little boat, because in this one it's all about the Earth kind of flooding. So they add traversal around in a boat in this one, which is a little Wind Waker-y, actually.
Yeah.
So you have this little boat that's gotten, it's a character in it. But I did have that moment of, like, I remember this character from the previous one, but now it has this like new form and a new purpose. But it's a lovely little.
But I have to try it out because I've been looking for a few smaller, shorter game experiences more recently. I've been playing the Indiana Jones game.
Is it good?
It's very surprising.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
But I don't think the combat is good. But I was explaining to Eric, it's like playing a VR game with no VR headset. It's weird, but the puzzles are really good, and Troy is doing a very good job. It does sound like Indiana Jones of that period, not just like a Harrison Ford impression now or something And I also think at some point, man, you got to try Astrobot.
Oh yeah,
which won Game of the Year. It's excellent. I'm going to bring it over for Christmas because it's fun to just play a few levels of it. So like the game is just pure fucking joy. Because I was going to give a loan of it to Eric anyway, and then you should have a go of it too because it's very, very good. But so unlike Adam or Eric, who I think both had kind of more surprising favorite games of the year, mine is pretty predictable. It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Who could have guessed? My most anticipated game of the year, and the one I sunk the most hours into. And I won't go on about it too much because we have a whole spoiler cast series from earlier in the year where we actually took segments of it and talked through the whole thing. There is things about the game I don't like, and we talked about all those things, and there's certain things that I wish they did differently. But ultimately, when you think about how long it took to come out from remake, it is fucking staggering how much shit is in the game. Like it's fucking shocking, and to a high level of quality that it is. And then of course, like the music continues to be amazing, the performances continue to be fucking incredible, and the combat is just as fun as ever for me. So I said it when me and Eric did the ending spoiler cast. I won't say too much about the ending, but I did say at the time, I was like, I think objectively Rebirth is the best Final Fantasy game, as in what you want from a Final Fantasy, since 10.
Wow.
Easily. So like but
12 exists.
So yeah, fuck off. So subjectively, you might prefer a remake, right? Because maybe you always preferred the Midgar section anyway. But in terms of what you expect in a Final Fantasy game, traveling the world and having a party and chocobos and mini games and as well as boss fight, like Rebirth is a modern classic Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
And it's actually a fucking incredible feat that they pulled off. And I cannot wait for part 3.
Revengeance.
I'm not saying anything about the ending. I said this before I finished the game, and I'm going to stick by it. I think it's going to be called Final Fantasy VII Revival because of what the word means in Rebirth and Remake.
Right, okay.
Right? And continuing that thing. I think it'll have multiple meanings if you know the original story. And I think it'll come out in 2027.
Wow.
You placing the bet here, are you?
For the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII and the 40th anniversary of Final Fantasy as a series.
I hope I get to clear the other one in time.
You might do. Where are you now, actually?
Yeah, where are you?
Curiosity.
I am
It's a big game.
I'm in the gold sauce.
Oh, the second time in the gold saucer.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm doing
you
a lot of
might.
fights.
Yeah, you might get to finish it.
You just
Yeah.
might. Just another 100 hours. No, have you considered dropping the difficulty, or are you just like, no, I won't. I refuse.
I probably will just to hammer through it. I think that was like, really, really enjoyed the game. The bits that like kind of frustrated me with the game, I think, is how they make combat, which I know this sounds a bit weird, but they do make combat basically the solution to everything.
Right.
I wish there was other things you could do outside of combat.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
It's like everything you do is like you're
Swing your sword.
You're gonna have a fight here now.
Yeah. Which is what most people
Which
want.
is why I
know,
love
but,
the fucking Queen's Blood so much.
Queen's Blood, the best. You know, this
It's
is wild
different,
to me.
Eric. It's
Do you know,
different.
this is wild to me that when we looked at like the Game of the Year categories,
Yeah.
right? And it was like, okay, so one of the Game of the Year nominees this year was Balatro, which is a card game, and no disrespect to that game whatsoever. Apparently, it's fucking incredible. I've yet to play it myself, and one developer made it, so that's like a huge feat in itself. But it's like when you put that beside, it's like, yeah, but Rebirth also has the best card game ever in it. Like,
No,
Well,
it doesn't.
okay, I
It
wouldn't
doesn't.
say it's the
Sorry,
best,
okay,
but it's pretty
I know,
good.
I know Gwent exists. I'm sorry.
Because there's Gwent. Okay, so The Witcher 3,
We're going off topic
you
here.
have Gwent.
Yeah,
Then there's a Gwent game that you can
I
get
know,
on the console.
I know.
And then they're making Gwent the card game so you can get
Physically.
physical. Yeah, I forgot how to speak.
I know what you'll be getting. That'll be your most anticipated game ever.
Yeah.
I know.
My
so,
bank account cannot handle.
huh?
My bank account won't be able to handle.
I know. So I know at the start of the year we did a whole episode where we talked about our most anticipated games of the year, and Rebirth was mine.
Yeah.
I know. I briefly want to mention this, right?
Yeah.
The Metal Gear Solid board game.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to infuriate you even more.
You're getting it before me.
Not that.
Okay.
I was.
Oh.
So when I asked you guys about 2 weeks ago, had you had any updates?
Yeah.
And then I said, nah, not me either. Mine had been dispatched. Right? And then during the week, I got a text to say it's due for delivery on the next working day. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have it for Christmas. And I was going to wrap it and bring it and have you open it on the podcast. That was my plan. You have no idea how mad I am.
Okay.
I've been tracking it. It's been sitting in customs. It's still in fucking Dublin.
Oh,
right?
shit.
And I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? I rang them up. It's not clearing customs. There's something wrong and they're sending it back. And I'm like, I nearly had it. So my lie about, oh, I'm not getting it till January or whatever, has become true. And I'm so fucking
Suffer
mad.
with the rest of us.
I'm so fucking mad.
This is the
Because
problem.
I was like, this is just make Christmas. If we can get, like, it doesn't matter which one of us gets it. If we can get that and have a play session of it, like,
yeah.
I was so fucking mad.
But this is the problem with the fact that everything you say coming true.
I know,
Because you
I
said, I'm
should've-
not going to get it till January, and you made it come true.
I know, but I wanted it to be like a, because then he'd be like, "What
Just
is
say that.
What is this?" You know?
Yeah, no, would've been-
I was fucking fuming. Anyway,
I don't think we'll get it till February.
it's probably more likely at this point because as well, like there's a lot. This won't matter to most people, but there's a whole lot of shit going on with deliveries and stuff and
Yeah.
Holyhead and all this. So like, yeah, by the time they send it back, I'm like, oh, like it's right there. You know what I mean? I'm so annoyed.
That's mad.
But anyway, so I wasn't going to say anything, but then I was like, no, at this point I have to vent. I've been keeping it a secret for 2 weeks that I actually was getting it, and now I'm not getting it, and it's like it's been taken away from me. I'm mad.
That's very annoying.
I'm
Yeah.
mad.
You can
But
suffer like
anyway.
the rest of us.
Yeah, now I now it feels. But anyway, guys, let us know your favorite games of 2024. We have taken stock of each one. We're going to be adding them to the list. ChatGPT will be telling us, or will be roasting us later. But let's move on to our favorite movies
Okay.
of 2024. Eric,
Yes.
your favorite movie of 2024?
Okay, so there's two really that stand out to me. One being Dune 2 that would have came out earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I think definitely tops it, it would be Alien Romulus.
Hey.
That was just such a surprise. Not like, but just, yeah, no, it was a surprise. Because you're kind of going in, you're like, okay, I don't know how, because this is like the first movie that's in the Alien franchise when Disney kind of bought Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, how are they going to handle it? Now, Prey was good, so whoever's in charge of horror, Fox, is doing a good job there, but you still don't really know what's happening to Alien. And then they just hit like the nail on the head with everything. Like, even though they have like because I think when we did the ranking earlier this year, I was kind of saying how I didn't like how the aliens were made to be like these bullet sponge type things. Like, they're scary, but there's still something about it that they're not really scared. They're just like, yeah, you shoot the bugs, like you shoot the ants. But in this, it's now showing you actually no, multiple aliens is a really terrifying thing, and multiple facehuggers. My God, it's terrifying again.
It's a really good scene.
Yeah. So he just nailed everything in the head. He pays homage to like everything in the franchise, from the movies to the video games. All the prosthetics and special effects were really good. The score, like playing homage as well to lots of the different things with the score and everything. The only area where I think it really lets it down is some moments of the CGI.
Yes.
CGI. And
one in particular.
And some of the script lines are a bit, wink to the camera, where it's like,
yeah.
But other than that, I think he just did a phenomenal job with it. And I was like, all right, my faith in the Predator and the Alien movies is pretty high.
Okay.
With those movies. So Alien Romulus for this year.
And we do have a full episode review of Alien Romulus up on the podcast if you want to go back and check that out if you missed it. Adam, are you in a similar boat, or do you have a different...
I think it'd be weird if I didn't also say Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't really sure with Eric. It could be one or two things, but yeah, I was like, with Adam, it's probably Alien Romulus.
For sure.
Yeah.
Some good movies this year, though.
There was a couple of good ones.
Craven.
Oh, yeah.
It's Craven time. Yeah. Anything you want to add about Alien Romulus, or?
No, I mean we went all in on. I mean,
for me, I really liked Alien Romulus. There's a lot of movies I really liked, but I didn't have one that I loved.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, that's the standout movie of the year to me, right? So, like, I liked Dune 2. I really liked Alien Romulus and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, actually.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
For me, they were... I think I liked them similarly, but for very different reasons, and obviously very different tones. But they're both love letters to the franchises that have come before them. And I'm really looking forward to, but it hasn't come out yet, Nosferatu. Right. And I think Robert Eggers' Nosferatu could become my favourite movie of the year. But we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, though, and I haven't actually watched this from start to finish. I've only pieced it together, watching bits at a time, because I physically can't watch it from start to finish. But I'm obsessed with the substance. Ooh. And I think it is one of the best movies to come out this year. And of the ones I've seen, it has had the most effect on me this year. And it's like that thing where it's like, I can't watch it, but I need to see it. You know what I mean? It's like a train or a car crash. Is that the old saying? So I have watched the movie, but not in one sitting.
Okay.
Because I can't. I get to a point and I go, ooh, no, that's enough. That's enough. And then I'm like, but I need to know what happens next. So then I go back to it. And the performances are incredible. The music is incredible. The cinematography is amazing, and the message is really, really strong. But like, yeah, it's disgusting.
So this is like me with those kind of horror games where it's the best thing ever, but you just can't play it.
But I have watched it though,
right? Yeah.
But just not in one sitting. Like, not from start to finish. It's been, I'll pick it up from here next time, kind of thing. That's the way I've watched it. So nearly like episodically almost. But like, so I was saying to Eric, actually, because I was talking about the movie, and I was saying, like in District 9, and you get to the bit with the fingernails, and you're like, it's really hard to watch. It's kind of fucking disgusting. But when you get past that, it's okay. You don't have any more of that. This is not like that. This is like, when you get past that, there'll be another thing that'll be disgusting, and when you get past that, there'll be another more disgususting thing for the whole movie. It never gets to a point where you go,
how long is the film?
It's about 2 hours. Yeah, it's about
right. Okay.
Yeah, it's about a full length, like, regular movie nowadays. But yeah, just like Demi Moore is amazing in it, and she's such a good casting, because it drives the point home, because Demi Moore is fucking beautiful. But she's not treated like she is by Hollywood in this movie. And then you get the younger hotter lady in Margaret Qualley, who was also amazing, and the two of them do such a good double act. And I will be surprised if, I don't know in what category specifically, I'll be surprised if The Substance does not win an Oscar. I think it's that good.
Best cheer moment.
Yeah. I don't know what moment you cheer at. But yeah, so I recommend checking it out. Another horror movie. It's a body horror movie. It's as disgusting as Alien Romulus was, and it really was, The Substance took the cake for a disgusting horror movie this year.
That's fair.
So,
Gross.
yeah. I'm looking forward to the to the roasting. But so let's move on to favorite TV show, and I'm actually wearing a Stranger Things jumper.
You
They
are?
have recently wrapped Stranger Things season 5.
Nice.
So that's coming out next year.
It's coming next year.
So that'll likely be the favorite next year. But for 2024, Eric, any TV show in particular catch your eye? Any you want to shout out?
There was a few this year. So Fallout 4 was surprisingly good, I thought.
Fallout 4.
But the Fallout show.
Yeah.
Or the TV show.
Fallout 4, the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fallout show was pretty good as adaptations go, so I find it's quite nice that now with The Last of Us and Fallout, the people who are adapting the things actually decide to pay attention to the games.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of Vox Machina season 3 came out. That was pretty good. That was an emotional show. We had Arcane season 2, finally wrapping that up, and that was incredibly well made. But for me, my favorite TV show was kind of like Stellar Blade. It took me by surprise. I just it was on Netflix. I was like, oh, sure, I'm in the mood for something different, and I put it on, and I was like, this is kind of fun. And then as it went on, I was like, this is actually really fucking good. And it's an anime called Delicious in Dungeon.
What?
Delicious what?
Delicious in Dungeon.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Delicious in Dungeon?
So
It's not what I was expecting.
Not at all.
I don't know if you want Delicious in Dungeon and Stellar Blade in your...
yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really stressful.
Wait now, so Delicious in Dungeon?
Yes.
I just want to make sure okay.
Yeah.
Because anything could happen here. Okay.
It's
Tell us
pretty-
about
it's-
Delicious in Dungeon.
It's pretty much D&D.
Right.
But what it is that it starts off, there's the party, they're fighting a red dragon, and the main character of the show, he gets a little distracted because he's hungry. So the dragon is about to eat him, and his sister pushes him out of the way, and then she gets caught in his mouth. She uses the magical spell, gets the whole party out of the dungeon, and she gets eaten by the dragon. So all their stuff is left behind. Now the main character, that's his sister, wants to go back into the dungeon to save her, because dragons have a slow digestive system. He's hoping to get back to her, to kill the dragon, carve her out, and save her. So he brings two members with him, a halfling called Chilchuk and an elven mage called Marcel. They go into the dungeon, but they don't have enough time to get everything, so they've got no food. So they join forces with a dwarf who will teach them how to cook monsters. So it's very comedic, because some of the characters have to overcome the idea of eating the monsters, because to them that's kind of disgusting. So it's a fun little thing, and then it just becomes so much more with the backstories and the politics that are coming into it. And it's actually, this was just a surprising, great show.
I never even heard of it.
I think it's interesting how different everyone's Netflix is.
I think it's... Yeah, because I haven't seen that.
Oh, sure. I watched another anime
called...
I watched another anime as well called Spy X Family, which was probably the funniest thing I
This
watched.
one I heard of. Yeah, you told me about this one. I never heard you even mention
I'm
Delicious
pretty sure
in
I've
Dungeon.
mentioned Delicious in Dungeon earlier this year.
It's interesting. I like it.
Yeah.
I must check. Well, I don't know if I will check it out. I'm saying that, but
Sold it.
I don't know if I'm totally sold. Have you watched Delicious in Dungeon? Do you agree with Eric? Is it the best show of 2024?
Well, no, I'd say most people go Arcane season 2 or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Cool though. Okay. Adam, you got a favorite show this year?
I've got it by default.
Right.
So I haven't
It's
seen.
This is the only
ton.
one I watched. So
No, well, I've seen a few, but I didn't really enjoy any of them.
okay.
I'm gonna say actually my favorite TV show that I've seen this year, because it was the 20th anniversary of Lost this year. I went
Do you know what?
back and I
throw it on.
I
Yeah.
rewatched Lost season 1. I was like, man, that was actually so much fun.
Yeah.
Great writing,
Brilliant.
incredible characters.
Yeah. I know people always go on about the ending or whatever, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
forget
No,
how
that-
good Lost was.
That as a pilot episode
One of the best
Unbelievable.
pilots ever.
It's really good. But out of something that came out this year, my favorite out of the batch that I've seen was Shogun.
Brilliant show.
Okay, so you want me to put that Lost or Shogun?
Shogun.
Yeah, brilliant show. Really,
Yeah,
really good.
I think
Forgot about the show.
it was good, but I think I didn't love it. And it was mostly, I just can't get behind that camera lens they've chosen.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's so
They have a
strange.
weird vignette or something.
Yeah,
doesn't
it looks
It's
like
it's like a blurry at the-
dreamlike or
Yeah,
something. Yeah. There was a lot of stuff in it where
So I think The Witcher
didn't
uses that.
connect
Well, it's
with
very
it.
weird.
Yeah. It could have been better, I think. But it was well done.
Yeah, I think the acting is really good. I didn't
Yeah.
like the main guy in particular, but I liked the actual Japanese cast. I thought
Yeah.
were excellent.
Yeah.
And Nestor Carbonell is in that as well, isn't he? Yeah. He's good.
We love that guy.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
He shows
Good
up
guy.
and stuff. I don't know why he's always got eyeliner on, but I like that guy. You know what I mean? Because like in some like with some roles it really suits it. Like it suits it in that, and it suits it in Lost because he's like this mysterious, been around a long time kind of guy. But when he's the
He's
mayor of
Portuguese
Gotham,
in
you're
Lost,
kind of
isn't
like, what are you doing?
Was he Portuguese in Lost?
He was Portuguese.
And he's a Portuguese in Shogun?
Yeah, I wonder
Is
does
he
he
Portuguese?
have? He might have Portuguese heritage. Does anyone know? Nestor, are you watching?
You said today like you were calling a child or something. Like come back into the house.
Nestor.
Show us your
That's a
papers,
great
son.
name. That's a great fucking name, actually.
Nestor.
Nestor.
So yeah, Shogun.
It's a good show. It is a good show.
I think my favorite part of that show is when your man gets absolutely blasted by a cannon.
That is
Excellent. Because it's so
Fucking
unexpected.
excellent.
It's so unexpected. You're just kind of like, they're just chatting away, and then next
Yeah.
minute, violence.
Right, yeah.
that
It's
is
like,
good.
it's very well done in it.
Yes. Yeah. That reminds me, just that moment reminds me of the movie Aquaman, where anytime they needed to move it along, like people would be talking and go, how do we move them from this conversation to the next set piece?
Explosion.
An explosion. And there's like you can take a shot every time there's an explosion in Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's gas. I actually enjoyed surprisingly quite a lot of shows this year. I thought X-Men 97
That was good.
was fucking amazing. And I was like, I hope whenever they decide to tackle X-Men in the MCU that this is their like roadmap, basically. Like Magneto. The show understands that Magneto is probably the most interesting Marvel villain. He is so good in it. And there's times where you're like, he's right. He's correct what he's saying. But then, and the whole philosophical debate between him and Charles Xavier, and there's just some really cool shit in it. And I was like, by the end of the show, I was reminded of a video game that I haven't played in a long time, which is X-Men Next Dimensions. Is that what it was called? You know, the PS2 fighter game.
Was that the name of it?
Was that what it was called? There was some characters in the show that was like, oh my god, last time I saw you was on the PS2. You know, it was fucking crazy. It was so cool to see certain characters and where they went with it. So that was really cool, really nostalgic, and honestly, for the opening music piece alone, 10 out of 10. Baby Reindeer was an incredibly interesting and dark and honest and raw kind of show. I thought the lady who played Martha was excellent, and I know that they'll be up for plenty of awards and stuff, and it's a really, really, really good show, and I found it very challenging to watch. Like,
Yeah, you're liking a lot of challenge things. This is
yeah, well, I do like, you know, when people are like exploring kind of important shit or have something to say, like, you know, as opposed to just let's just regurgitate the same shit, like, you know. So I thought it was a really unique perspective. Like, I've never really seen a show about a young guy being stalked where he doesn't paint himself very well, actually. He brings a lot of it on himself, and he does a lot of shit in the show that he shouldn't have done, that makes it way worse for himself, and he kind of eggs on the stalker, but then to a point where now it's gotten out of hand, and she's actually quite dangerous, and it's really well done and very honest. But I'm going to say my favourite show this year is Arcane. The boring answer. Because And okay, so everything about Arcane is excellent. Maybe season 2 is a little bit rushed in terms of the writing, and there should have been a season 3. And we've already talked about that. Me and Eric did.
We did.
But it's just basically a series of music videos interstitched with dialogue. It's fucking incredible. Like, the art is amazing, the music is amazing, the performances are amazing. It's amazing. And because I was prepping to watch season 2, I watched season 1 as well. So as a result, it was just Arcane was my favorite show this year. Now, that could change. Squid Game season 2 is set to come out and hasn't come out yet, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with that, because the emotional highs of Squid Game 1 was like fucking crazy. Like, and the acting in that was unbelievable. You should watch that.
I will.
It's predictable, because you're like, I've seen this concept before, but it's the way they do it is so good. But for now, Arcane is my favorite show of 2024.
Nice.
And that brings us on to our favorite music releases of 2024. This is usually a very quick snippet in previous years. And this year, I feel like there's something to actually talk about. Our most listened to episode this year was on music.
Nice.
Wow.
Which was our album track by track review of From Zero by Miles. Was our most popular episode this year. But Eric, have you a favorite music release this year? Whether it's a song, whether it's an album, whether it's a concert, what is it? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
You might have a few things you want to shout out.
Oh, well, I mean, now you brought up concert. I mean, Linkin Park concert was fucking excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. I mean, the Linkin Park album From Zero was really good. But, and as good as that is, as amazing that is, there's a particular song in Arcane Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Episode 3. It's done by Woodkid. And it's called To Ashes and Blood. And it just hit me instantly when I was like watching the moment, and I was like, this is such a beautiful moment. And I was like, listen to the song as well, it's such a great song. And there's like a chant throughout it, almost like a child is chanting, but the language she's chanting in is a language from the world of Arcane. And then just to go with the song, so it's kind of like, you know, when you're watching Boromir's Death, and there's this song and you don't know what they're saying, but it's all in Elvish. It's like, and it just suits the moment well. So it's that for that reason. It's such a powerful piece of music. It's so impactful. It's every hit of the drum and every hit of the chord was quite nice. You're looking at me like
yeah, I'm interested. I'm just.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm intrigued.
And I like Woodkid's voice. I think he's got a very
he's got
a very powerful, unique kind of voice. And then that chant as well, it's just very like, I remember that chant just hit me and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I started hearing people.
I actually figured it was going to be something from the Arcane soundtrack, but I am actually surprised at that song. It's a really good song. It's not what I was expecting.
It was between that and what's the name of the song? Sucker, which is also from which is from the start of episode 2. Yeah. Where it's kind of showing what's happening to the lanes and all the gangs fighting each other, and that's a really great song as well. But
nice.
That's mine.
Adam.
I'm gonna go with the From Zero release.
Yeah,
100%. Everything around it, really, isn't it? The way
the best thing that ever happened this year.
Well, we criticized how they went about releasing it, but that was more of a me issue than them.
Yeah.
But everything leading up to it, the few songs that they dropped leading up to the album, the actual going to the concert, hearing
it was wild, wasn't it? That all happened within 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Hearing
getting the tickets.
Heavy's the Crown live for the first time. Hearing it was live.
Insane.
The concert experience was amazing. Then I actually kind of wish the album came out quicker.
Right, because it felt like you had a bit of a lull, and you're like, I'm on too much of a high right now.
It was like bang, 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 and then we're waiting. Yeah. Even when I went to see Sleep Token, they were playing. Do you know why they always have like music playing? It's like their lounge music, basically.
Yeah.
They had Reanimation on repeat.
Amazing.
Yeah. So me and Pagan were just like bopping to that. Everyone else didn't know what the fuck was going on. But
How was the Sleep Token concert actually? Because
that's an experience.
yeah, we didn't have you on the podcast for that.
I highly recommend seeing them. I really do. If you have any interest in Sleep Token, because I don't know why. Like, as much as I love them, I don't know why I thought they mightn't be great live. Kind of like System of a Down. They're not great live, but they're killer. Like,
Yeah, they're awesome.
Their music is great. I just kind of felt with Sleep Token, I just assumed that maybe it would be like too overproduced to capture live.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, was I wrong?
Yeah.
Were you? Because I think you were talking to Mom and Dad about it after the concert. Were you saying that it was a better? It would have been, or next time you see them, you're going to do it sitting down.
I'm going to sit down for it. Yeah.
I think I would sit for it too. For some
Yeah.
reason, every time I think of Sleep Token, I also immediately think of Heilong, and I don't know why.
I think that would be a fucking amazing.
They should pair up.
Yeah, if Heilong supported Sleep Token.
Do you know that
Jesus.
Heilong are playing in Dublin
Really?
2025?
Nice.
I don't know if I do a full concert of them though.
Yeah, it's like them as a support act to Sleep Token would actually be,
That would be
the
incredible.
most incredible like pairing.
Yeah.
But I for some reason, I think it's because one of the guys in Heilong wears kind of a similar get-up to Vessel.
They do
with the
wear-
hood and the mask
yeah.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
they
I think
do
that's why I
wear-
think of it. And the theatrics of
Yeah.
the two bands.
Yeah. So it was the kind of like the light show that Sleep Token had, and the various different positioning that they took, and their use of dry ice was insane. I just think that experience would be much better sit it down. From going on to like the subreddit after that show, everyone was on the same page where you kind of didn't want to sing along or
Right.
move.
Okay.
You just kind of wanted to stand there and just
Take
soak
it in. And
which was the first time I've ever really experienced that outside of Hans Zimmer.
yes.
So I would say the experience of going to Sleep Token is like going to Hans Zimmer.
I was about to ask that.
only
Yeah.
heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's very theatrical, and
Yeah.
you're just in awe of the moment. That's cool.
That's why I do wonder, like a lot of people, obviously not their fan base, but there's some people have voiced concern. Sleep Token are one of the headliners at Download, and I think people have voiced concern about how they'd fare as a headliner. I think they'll pull it off and they'll kill it, and I think they will actually. I know they're writing new music.
Mhm.
I think they're very aware. I think they will write something for not for Download, but bearing festivals in mind.
Yep.
Something really energetic, because I think they know the crowd are going to want it. But I think people are thinking that because like you don't sit at Download. You know what I mean? Like it's a huge field and you're
Yeah.
expecting to jump around or mosh or that kind of thing. That's why like Slipknot tend to be a very popular headliner there because they obviously get the crowd moving. So I'm very curious of that show. But a lot of people said the same thing about some previous headliners, and they all kind of proved the naysayers wrong and went down in history as some of the best. So I think they're gonna pull off a really, really good immersive.
Yeah, I'd
show.
be interested to see what there's. I know it'll definitely be a very different set list.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like they're willing in their own show to play the deep cuts
Yeah.
because you're there, you've
Yeah.
bought in. Festival was slightly different, but From Zero is the From Zero release.
That was pretty good. That was awesome.
That's
It's just really good to have new Linkin Park music of any kind, really. So there's a few music releases that I was really into this year. I started the year pretty much with a Bring Me the Horizon concert, which was
Nice.
fucking brilliant. They pull off great shows. Like their showmanship is excellent. And then if you're a video game fan, the fucking amount of shit they throw in there from video games is just really like, when you've got a whole crowd singing "The Best Is Yet to Come," you're just like, this is fucking amazing. Like before we're about to pull our fucking faces off, it's great. Like I love it. Then there was a song I got really into the band Bloodywood this year,
right.
which they're fucking amazing. I love them. They're great gym music. And when I was going to the gym, I was listening to a lot of Bloodywood. I think a singular favorite song this year, but my favorite music release is going to be an album.
Right.
My favorite song was actually "Curse" by Architects. I'm not a big Architects fan, but this song It has a huge chorus, really anthemic, really fun, bouncy kind of song. I think it has a lot of Linkin Park influence in it, as well as other things. But basically, it was co-written and produced by Jordan Fish, previously of Bring Me the Horizon. And he's got a really good ear for catchy, heavy music. He's also the guy who co-wrote and produced Poppy's new album.
Great album.
It's a great album.
That's a great album.
He's also working at Spirit Box. Jordan Fish is... So he came on to Bring Me the Horizon when they wrote Sempiternal.
All right, okay.
So if you track that, I'm not saying it's all down to him. It's not. The band is very talented and Ollie is very creative. But he was an in-house producer and songwriter that they ended up with on board. And like, if you look at their career from Sempiternal onwards, they became the band they are now, which is a mainstream, heavy, stadium kind of band. And he has always said, which is why like I always felt from Sempiternal onwards that Bring Me the Horizon were a next generation's Linkin Park. Right. It's not down to they don't replicate the sound or anything. Yeah. It's down to their mantra and the fact that they'll keep changing up the genre and all that kind of stuff. But Jordan Fish has always said that his Bible on writing heavy mainstream music is Hybrid Theory and Meteor. He was like, Linkin Park wrote the manual on how to do it. Nice. This is how you do it. And it's why if you listen to some of their songs, like you're literally like, that is a Linkin Park song. Throne is a Linkin Park song. Teardrops is a Linkin Park song. They sound like them. But the reason I like all that music is because it reminds me of Linkin Park. But Linkin Park came back this year, baby. So obviously, that's going to be my favorite music release this year.
Yeah.
Yes, From Zero. Can't fucking believe that we got new Linkin Park music. That it came out so quickly. Like, it was just, the whole thing was so exciting. It was so emotional. I cried like a baby when I got the tickets. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a mixture of tiredness crying, and joy and excitement and nervousness and so many mixed emotions. The concert was incredible. One thing I'm pissed off about is that Spotify Wrapped's cutoff date is sometime either the end of October or early November. Because my top songs 2024 have fuck all of From Zero in it. And yet from November onwards, as soon as that came out, that album has been on repeat.
Yeah,
so
mine was just...
So my top 24 playlist thing it only has the 3 singles that came out before the album release. Yeah. So I was like, clearly there was a cutoff point because I played the fuck out of Good Things Go and Overflow and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that was because when we had a discussion of the From Zero album, we had our favorites.
Which is a great episode.
I have to say,
things have changed.
Those 2 songs in particular, Overflow, I want an album of that.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying. I was saying that song is fucking incredible.
So now my ones I go to the most are Still Heavy as the Crown. That's still my favorite.
Heavy the Crown is a banger.
Yeah. Overflow and
they were my top 3.
Good Things Go.
Yeah. Even from the album listening party that I went to, they were the 3 that stuck with me. But Overflow just had this instant... It's just my kind of shit, it's like, I don't think they'll play it live. I don't think it has that energy. Maybe. It's not one, it's not going to, if they have to take some out, like Two-Faced is one that they're going to play, Casualty is one that they're going to, you know what I mean? I'd love to hear Overflow live. I think it'd be a difficult one to actually do live because it is very production heavy to pull off all the stuff that's happening even in the vocals. Like her vocal on it is incredible and the song grows.
I love it when it starts, like the way you get snippets of basically the chorus in the background of it as it's leading up. That's so good.
It's an amazing song. And then Good Things Go is also just like, I think you'd be more likely to get that.
Yeah. Both of them though, I wish they ended better. The song.
I know what you mean, yeah.
The 2 of them don't end well, but the actual songs are just unbelievable.
And I still want the album to be a little bit longer. I still want
that is definitely the biggest critique I have of it. Yeah. It's too short.
But I like the music. Yeah. Stained has grown on me as well since listening. I actually quite enjoy. I think the drums in it are just fucking awesome. Yeah. But yeah, so lots of great songs this year, but From Zero by Linkin Park is obviously the best thing that's happened
ever actually.
To be honest with you. But I was like, how can you get a fucking year where you get Final Fantasy 7 and Linkin Park, you know what I mean? And you get married.
So basically that's true.
That's pretty good too. That's my actual highlight of the year, but we're not talking about that stuff. But
So what else from the childhood needs to come back? Oh, we got another Lord of the Rings movie.
We got another Lord of the Rings movie.
I haven't seen it. Was it good? I actually don't even know if it was good, really.
Well, like it is good, but it wouldn't. What I'd say is it wouldn't be adding it to my marathon.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
You know, it's like the way I would describe it is that it's like the Animatrix is to the Matrix movies.
Okay, it's cool supplement, like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Supplement material.
Actually, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think it's good. Like some people were like saying, like I think some people were giving out saying like it's a girl boss movie and stuff. It's like it's not. It's definitely not that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of reaching for criticism.
Yeah, there is. The movie
People don't want to like it, maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe, and I know like it didn't last long in our cinemas, but that's because
I didn't get a chance to see it. I wanted to go see it.
that's because like, but you can almost
That's
predict.
down to. I think it's down to an animation. Yeah.
I don't think it's an animated idea, so people look down on it.
I actually think
Wicked and Craven were out the same week, which
somehow Wicked's gonna.
Like Wicked was
Wicked
only
is
Max.
doing really well. Mufasa is out at the moment, you see.
Yeah, so that was put in the like Lord of the Rings was put in the corner of our cinema, which
Isn't that weird though that anything called the Lord of the Rings anything would be? But I get it.
I don't think the advertisement.
I think
was
as well.
Good.
It should. I think it should have been. It's great to have experienced it in the cinema, but even then, I don't think you're missing much in not going to the cinema to see it. There is a little bit in it. I would say my biggest critique of it is, and you'll notice it in the beginning, the animation's a bit weird.
Okay.
You
have to like get used to it.
Yeah, it takes a bit to get into that.
Right.
There's also, I just think anime is not the right format for the Lord of the Rings. Not animation. I like animation, but I think anime style doesn't fit the Lord of the Rings. I would expect something.
I'm gonna go a step further.
Go on then.
I don't think this should have been. I haven't seen it yet, and I might change my opinion. And I do like people experiment with different formats, and I love animation. My favorite show this year was Arcane.
Right.
I don't think they should have animated this at all. I think it should have been a live action movie. I think it would have got way more eyes on it. And I think
it would have, yeah.
And I think it wouldn't have had as much of a disconnect. I don't think people are going to count this movie, which is unfair to it. But I think people are going to be like, "Oh, that's the animated one. It doesn't count." I don't think that should be what you say about anything with Lord of the Rings in the title.
It could have been a budget thing, because it's still big. It's still
what I heard was, and I don't know if it's true, but apparently Warner Brothers rushed it out in order to keep the film rights while they're working on Hunt for Gollum.
There's a lot of that happening.
Didn't that happen with Sony as well, with like Craven apparently, like probably Morbius as well, which was Morbin time, you know.
Well, I just mean specifically within the Lord of the Rings space, we're seeing a lot of other properties also rush things out to hold on to the rights.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's true, but
I will say Brian Cox does a fantastic performance in it.
Oh, cool.
And his two sons.
His sons are actually MVPs, man.
They're bad. They don't need to talk. They're so cool.
They are the best thing about the movie. Actually.
Very cool.
Okay. I still like. I'm gonna watch it. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch. I think animation does work for it. When you watch it, you'll kind of get what I mean. But there's just something they're missing a scene to help just finalize it all up. I won't say what that is until you watch it. But basically, there's something that should have occurred at the end of the movie, I think. And it would have had this lovely little tie-in with the actual movie.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Well, now that we've gone through all of our favorite things from 2024, our highlights of 2024, would we like to hear what ChatGPT has to say about our interests, our tastes, and let it roast us?
Let's see what it has to say then.
Okay, so we're going to start with Eric's tastes and see what ChatGPT has to say about Eric's interests this year. It's just getting there.
Yeah, no.
It's typing.
Give
it some time.
The machine's for it.
Oh, so you're a connoisseur of edgy vibes, huh? Let's dive in. Favorite game, Stellar Blade. Ah, yes, Stellar Blade, where you finally get to play a high-tech waifu simulator and pretend you're saving the world instead of staring at the protagonist's perfectly rendered character design. Don't worry, I'm sure the plot is deep. Real deep. Your favorite movie, Alien Romulus, because nothing screams originality like the 97th Alien reboot. You must have been thrilled watching yet another group of disposable humans run screaming through dimly lit corridors while saying, "This time it's different." Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, at least the xenomorphs are aging better than your taste in movies.
Whoa, okay.
As for your favorite TV show, Delicious in Dungeon, foodie D&D is your vibe? You really said, I need to see anime characters cook a chimera while having existential crisis. It's giving, I'm too cultured for Iron Chef, but not enough for actual tabletop RPGs. We get it. You love quirky niche things. So quirky, so niche. And as for your favourite music release, To Ashes and Blood by Woodkid. Nothing screams, I have impeccable taste, like latching onto Arcane's second season soundtrack and pretending it's not the most Tumblr core thing to grace your playlist since 2014. Woodkid's here for the moody violins, and you're here for the aesthetic of staring out of rainy windows, feeling profound. So, to summarize, your vibe is sci-fi goth kid with a flair for cooking shows and melancholic Spotify playlists. How's the existential dread treating you, Eric?
Jeez.
Did it sum it up just?
Yeah, this is fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like things that are deep.
Yeah,
real deep.
Yeah.
I think that was my favourite part of it. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus, this is harsh. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to hearing the rest then.
Who's next?
Go Adam.
Go for Adam.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same. All right, let's see what we have here. Monument Valley Tree. Your favorite game is a puzzle that's all about perspective and optical illusions. Coincidentally, it sounds like it reflects your dating life. Always trying to find the right angle to fit in.
Yeah.
Bang on.
Alien Romulus, a sci-fi film where the stakes are high, yet you still find it more thrilling than your social life. If only your conversations with friends had that much suspense. Maybe then they wouldn't always be looking at their phones. Jesus. Shogun, you love a historical epic about samurai and honor, yet here you are, probably scrolling through TikTok in your 5-hour binge-watching sessions. I see those sword fights are inspiring you to cut down on productive hours.
Okay.
You don't have TikTok, do you?
I don't have TikTok.
You got that one wrong, ChatGPT. Let's see what you got.
Linkin Park From Zero. The classic angst of Linkin Park. It perfectly encapsulates your emo high school phase that somehow never ended. Don't worry, the world still Don't worry, the world still needs teenagers who think they're misunderstood even at age 30.
Whoa, okay.
A little compliment there at the end.
Okay.
So its summary is, it looks like your favorite scream, quirky intellectual, like simultaneously saying, I'm not ready to leave high school just yet, but hey, at least your eclectic tastes guarantee you'll never be boring.
You know what I really liked about that one?
True.
I liked that even though you both had Alien Romulus, it had something different to say about each of them. Which probably was the most savage burn for you. Probably, I think was that one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was very, very good.
Tattooed on my ribcage.
And I need my conversations more suspenseful. And the not wanting to leave high school or secondary school, as it's called here. Sounds about right. 100%. Bang on. Okay.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for you, Chris.
Yes.
So you're still living in the 90s, huh? You're out here playing Rebirth like it's the second coming of Final Fantasy, but it's really just Final Fantasy VII with a fresh coat of paint, like putting a shiny new spoiler on a car that still has some old engine. Maybe next you'll try Final Fantasy 16, you know, the one with actual gameplay innovations.
Oh, mother!
Oh, wait, I forgot. You're just here for the nostalgia and Cloud's melodramatic hair.
Yes, I am, and I have played 16. It's not as good.
Yeah, it's not that innovative, actually. No. Opposite.
The opposite.
Your favorite movie? What's your favorite movie again?
Oh, it was
Substance.
The Substance.
Oh, so you're into The Substance, huh? Let me guess, it's a pretentious indie flick with zero plot but an abundance of people staring longingly into the distance and talking in vague existential monologues. What's next? Do you prefer your cinema slow-paced, ambiguous, and impossible to explain in less than 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Sounds like a movie for people who like their films like they like their coffee. Bitter and confusing.
ChatGPT, why are you so mean?
Arcane. So you're out here watching a show based on League of Legends, a game with as much narrative depth as a puddle. Sure, it looks beautiful. If you want your plot wrapped in 3D animated eye candy, but let's be real. It's a glorified music video for a game with a fan base that's still arguing over which champion is best.
That's what I said. That's why I liked it. That's bang on.
But hey, at least the characters have more personality than the ones in the game, right? Oh wait, no they don't. It actually has in here an asterisk. Sorry, Jinx.
That's very good.
And then we have From Zero, the album by Linkin Park. More like zero effort. That's great. Oh my god. You're out here reliving the same angst from 2003, but now it's all polished up with better production values. Just when you thought you moved past the teenage angst, Linkin Park comes back like an ex you can't escape. Talking about emotional breakdowns and battling inner demons. At least you can scream along with the band, though, because I'm sure that's exactly what you needed in 2024. You, me, and every other millennial who's still stuck in high school spirit. But
Damn
hey,
right.
no judgment. You do you.
Damn right. Damn right. Zero effort. Did it not have it to summarize?
No, that's it. It just gave
Oh,
you.
man.
It just said you do you.
You do you, boo. You do you. That should be the mantra of 2024 going into 2025. You do you, boo. Man, do you know what? It wasn't too bad. It could have been harsher. I feel like the comment section could go fucking way off.
Oh yeah.
And I would like people to. I'd like people to. What instead of as our like Christmas present to us. If you're listening to this or watching this, please feel free to roast us even harder than ChatGPT did. But that's a fun thing to do. I think like other people should give it a go. I never knew it was a thing that you could ask it to roast you, and I think it's quite interesting that it does understand the humor of roasting. Like it's well done. And also that even though some of us had similar things, that it did say something slightly different.
So you're joining in now? Cool. You're joining the AI cult now? You're gonna like
I now love AI. I think we should replace workers. No, I don't fucking love AI. Are you kidding me? I've always been against it. To some degree.
For now.
Yeah, we will win you over. Okay, so as we bring the last episode of 2024 to a close, anything else anyone wants to bring up before we
What are you
wrap
most
up?
looking forward to in 2025?
Grand Theft Auto 6. Sorry.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
Sorry, that was a reflex action. They're paying me to say that. What am I most looking forward to 2025 that's not Grand Theft Auto 6?
Or if there's anything, maybe not most, but just like, is there anything in particular that you're really looking forward to? Based on some of the things that we just discussed, whether it's movie, TV show, games.
You didn't watch the Game Awards, did you?
No.
So they finally released. Do you remember a game called Crimson Desert?
Yes.
They finally released the date, and that's coming out next year at like the end of it. So I'm like,
release the date. They said the year.
So it's not coming out then?
It's coming in 2025.
yeah, at the end.
Everyone's afraid to say a date because they don't know when GTA 6
Yeah.
is coming out.
Yeah, well, it's at the end of 2025.
Or they can't commit.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, that's exciting.
Yeah,
That
no,
there's
it's
something.
very exciting. Yeah.
All right. We're good.
Sorry, Eric. Sorry. Yeah, it was really, really exciting.
I'm so happy for you.
That's your most exciting thing?
That and I mean, hopefully we get that fucking Metal Gear Solid board game
Yeah, hopefully.
next year.
It's got to come soon, right?
So next year does look like it's going to be pretty good. Stranger Things, obviously season 5, that's coming out next year. That's pretty exciting.
Can't wait for Stranger Things Season 5. Can't wait for GTA 6.
You know, let's say that.
I'm seeing Linkin Park again on my birthday.
Nice.
It would be rude not to. A few other concerts. I'm going to see Limp Bizkit. I'm going to see Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine for the 20th anniversary of Ascendancy and The Poison. So that, like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I haven't left that phase, and I don't want to.
down.
Fuck you, ChatGPT. I'm staying there, like it is 2003. And yeah, what else am I looking forward to? Oh, there's the PlayStation concert. I think that's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
So there's a lot of like concerts coming up, a lot of games. I'm curious about Ghost of Yote and a few more. So yeah, lots of. I think 2025 will actually be a very rounded year in terms of entertainment. I think there'll be stuff in every category to be excited about. How about you?
First that came to mind was Severance. Next season, Severance. Really looking forward to that. I think it's coming.
That's coming next year. Fuck off.
I think it's January.
Severance season 2,
that's
baby.
Where I'll be kicking off my 2025, and we'll just see what comes then.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. That. Oh man. Have you watched Severance yet?
No, I haven't watched that.
Great show.
Yeah.
Great show. You should watch that instead of Delicious in Dungeon, to be honest with you. I'm joking.
Season 2 of Spy X Family is coming out soon.
Anyway, that's going to...
And there's a movie.
I think with that, we're going to have to bring 2024 to a close. Thank you, absolutely, everyone who checked us out at any point this year, whether it was just this episode or any other episodes throughout the year. We do want to hear your own personal highlights, your favorite games, movies, TV shows, music releases, whatever it is. Let us get in touch and let us know. Whether it's down in YouTube, you could jump down into the comments to share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for future content going into the new year. To those who listen to us on audio platforms, you could also touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on your highlights of 2024. Please roast us on ours. And whether you celebrate Christmas or just the holiday period, whatever it is, we hope you have an amazing holiday period and a happy new year. We hope to see you again in 2025. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.